Everyone. So I'm reading an article here from Game Rant titled Seven Best GMs in WWE 2K25 MyGM Ranked. So they have a list here of seven best GMs in WWE 2K25. I'm going to read a few of them here and just give my thoughts now that I've played a little bit of the MyGM. So in seven, we got Mick Foley. They have a GM designed to cause chaos in opposing brands. Power card, Cactus Jacked. Select an opposing brand. Five superstars who participate in their show next week will be injured. Useful for causing havoc with an opponent's roster. So let me tell you, this card right here, this Cactus Jacked, this this is ridiculously annoying. Okay. I had this happen to me on one of my playthroughs, literally on the last show before that, because you have your pay-per-view and then you have the PLE where you put in, only one match and you put in your own superstars, but you have your pay-per-view where you actually have the full card. I had this happen on that show. So I had everything set up. I was looking to win, had that happen. So this wrecked some havoc. There's no question about it. All right, William Regal. Another GM that can damage your opponent. Power card, Power of the Punch. Select an opposing brand. All superstars on their roster lose 10 popularity at the start of the next week. Useful to bring an opponent's show quality down. This one is certainly tough. I don't think it's anywhere near, I will say, if we're comparing, I don't think it's anywhere near this Mick Foley card because as big of a deal as the popularity aspect is, and it is a big deal, you can still get good matches even with the popularity down 10. If you take someone's popularity from 80 to 70, or if somebody has a card that can kind of, gain a little bit of popularity depending on when you use it, that's nowhere near, in my opinion, as bad as the McFoley one. So I disagree having them at six instead. Tyler Breeze, instant stamina recovery can be crucial to my GM's success. Power card, quick recovery. Each superstar recovers 12 stamina instantly, useful for preventing tired wrestlers and avoiding injuries. I don't know if this is something that other people like, but I can tell you I would have needed this. Okay. I was the worst at making sure my superstars had good stamina. I used them all the time and they were getting hurt all the time. They were getting hurt in big matches. Personally, that's one of the things in my future playthroughs I'm going to try to work on is doing better on this. So I think this one, to me, this one might be number one. Xavier Woods, stealing another GM's biggest superstar can be vital. Power card, cheat code. Selected a superstar from an opposing brand's roster. They will permanently join your roster next week. Useful to bring in a big star after the draft. So yeah, this could change things, right? This could certainly do a lot for you because you're bringing in somebody big, and I guess they're permanently on your brand. I actually haven't played with Xavier Woods yet. Didn't know that was in there. That's big. That is big. Now, I will say, I'm not entirely sure though that when I look at a card like this, that it's actually better than kind of McFoley's or Tyler Breeze's because this is okay. You're getting one superstar and it does do a little bit of damage, but it's not necessary. Like if you wanted somebody so bad, you could just go and draft them, or you could find there is a ton of free agents that you could pay money for. So I don't know necessarily if I would put them at four, just because as good as that seems like it is on paper, when you actually get into it, it's not as much of a giant, kick in the nuts as like Mick Foley's because you could really time that at a perfect time, or even Tyler Breeze's, but it still is a big deal. Miss Elizabeth at three. Immediately make a superstar overpowered. Power card, Mega Power. Select a superstar on your brand and immediately max out their popularity, stamina, and morale. Useful to maximize a superstar on the player's roster. So yeah, I mean, the beauty of a card like this, in my opinion, would be is you could really utilize it to you could use a superstar a ton, max out their stamina, and the fact that you can max out their stamina goes a long way because most of the time when you're drafting, the stamina is at like a 60 or a 50. You know what I mean? So you never actually get your superstars at full stamina. If you get them at full stamina, you'll probably be able to have them for a much longer period of time, and at least through the whole season without dealing with too many issues. I would think. I don't know for sure, but yeah, this is definitely a card that is well used. Adam Pierce, a rivalry boost to use twice per season. Power card Instigator increases the levels of all active rivalries by 2. Useful to gain extra match quality by boosting rivalry. So this one is powerful. Okay, this is a good one. And why I say that is because when we're talking about, okay, the stamina issue, part of the reason there is that stamina issues. You're trying to make sure that, okay, I need this rivalry to be good. So you're trying to get them involved and you're not maybe giving them that rest. Whereas with something like this, you could really rest somebody, get it to a 2, and get that thing to a 4 by PLE time. That is a really, really good card. Okay. The last one, who they have at number 1, is Stephanie McMahon. An instant cash boost can be incredibly useful in MyGM. Power card. The McMahon Presence. Earn twice as much money from arena attendance this week. Useful to gain an influx of cash for the player's brand. For me, this is a big one too, because to be honest with you, that's one of the worst things that I had. My ability I was spending way too much money constantly. Um, I was not, and part of it was because I was focusing a little bit too much, I think, on each individual show and not just on like, making sure that you don't need every match to have some type of stipulation. But I think the biggest thing with that is, if depending on how much money you could bring in, like affording those legends to have them come in for a short period of time, like halfway through, goes a long way too. So that's my reaction to them. I agree with a lot of it. I think there are other GMs I would actually have put on there. If I'm just looking, like we use Mr. Fuji for our playthrough, and I'll have to go through and look at some of the other ones too. But I definitely think that there's a few I would change. I think Stephanie McMahon and Adam Pearce, I agree with those. Those are fine where they are. Miss Elizabeth is fine. Xavier Woods, look, stealing a superstar is big. I'm not entirely sure though that it's like worthy of being the fourth. And the reason I say that is because you're having a battle against 3 other brands. And sometimes there is one brand that you're really going head to head with. And I think that's kind of what happened even in my last playthrough. I just never felt the need of, like, if I could just steal a star from over there, because usually part of the reason I didn't steal a star was because of the money situation, or the reason I wasn't getting more stars was the money situation. So I don't know. I don't. I would probably move that one away from 4. I think Tyler Breeze's the stamina recovery. To me, that's huge. If you can get all your stamina 12 up, I mean, that's a lot, right? That could buy you a match, which sometimes that's all you need. Um, I don't love William Regal's. I mean, the popularity is a big deal, but I feel like you could. I never had a problem personally with popularity. I got my guys, even people I took off the free agent list, I was able to get them pretty good. And to me, the Cactus Jack, this Mick Foley one, it should be maybe top 3, because that one just screws you over for an entire show. It really, really does. And if you're not really smart enough to kind of figure out how to make that work, it becomes an issue. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.